Hey, today we're going to talk about writing resources, so let's get into it. Hey guys, in case you're just joining me for the very first time, my name is Charles F. Millhouse. I am the author of the Captain Hawkland Adventures, Evolution Man, Serena Darkwood, and a lot of others. So today we're going to talk about writing resources and what I use when I write. There's so much out there, and I have a lot in my library of things that I use. And there's no way I could go through them today, at least all of them. So this is going to be kind of a part one, and maybe down the line we'll show you some more resources. And if I run across a few, I'll also pick them up and share them with you. And if you know of any that I don't list here, feel free to leave them in the comments of what you use for a writing resource. And maybe I can pick them up. And if I already have them, I'll let you know. All right, so let's get into it. Hey, first up, we have The Well-Spoken Thesaurus, and it gives you alternatives to sentence structure, and it's by Tom Heathler. And it works really well. If you have a sentence that you write that just doesn't seem strong enough to you, you can look it up in the thesaurus, and it'll tell you, give you an alternative. Now, you don't have to use it, of course, but it's always great to have alternatives when you're writing your sentence structure and especially putting together dialogue. Strong dialogue is very important when it comes to your characters. And I always felt that I have written strong dialogue until I started digging into some books like this and realized that I could do better. And I have, and it works out incredibly well. Next up, we have character reactions. Your character can do more than just nod and sigh. And that's written by Valerie Howard. And it's when you're writing your characters and they don't have a lot of dialogue, but they're receiving dialogue from a different character, you really want them to interact in some way. And head nods and sighs aren't always going to get you through. Facial expressions, your eyes are rolling, they purse their lips, they look away, they stare at the floor. There's different things you can write when they're receiving dialogue, especially when your character is receiving dialogue they don't like. And this volume really helps you out. I've had Chicken Soup for the Writer's Soul for a long time. My wife bought it for me for Christmas a lot of years ago when I really first started publishing books. And even though it was published 20-some years ago, 25-some years ago, it's still very relevant today. So I'm not quite sure it's in print anymore, but you can still get an ebook copy of Chicken Soup for the Writer's Soul. And when you feel like you're being depressed and you're not getting ahead with your writing career, pick up the Chicken Soup and read it, and it really helps you get past those days when you have self-doubt about yourself. Next, we have two books from the same author, The Emotion Thesaurus and The Conflict Thesaurus, and they're written by Angela Ackerman and Becca Perglist. And the Emotion Thesaurus will help you find different emotion. It gives you keywords of an emotion you're looking for, say fear, and then it'll give you alternatives to the word of fear. And the same way with the conflict. You'll look up a conflict, just say fight or argument, and it'll give you a list of things, of different words you can use besides those. These are really great resources, and I use them quite often when writing. I actually have them stacked right here on my desk. I just have all these books over on a shelf, so I just left them lay, and I'm just going to do some graphics for you. So next we're going to go on to the Dialogue Thesaurus by Dahlia Evans. And it is, again, a resource to help you write good dialogue. You'll find a lot of these books will help you get your dialogue out. The stronger the dialogue, the stronger the character. Remember that. And this book is definitely a help when it comes to writing dialogue. And I'm happy to say that over the years, my dialogue has gotten stronger, and I don't use this book as much as I used to. But every once in a while, you get a little brain fart while you're writing, and all of these books are great resources. It doesn't matter how much of a master of these things you may be, it's always great to have that resource at finger's tip. Like Chicken Soup for the Writer's Soul, On Writing by Stephen King is another great resource. I've read it through cover to cover on multiple occasions, and it really helps when you're starting to second guess why you want to be a writer and more why you want to be a published writer. But these are, he gives you a lot of insight and tells you about his struggles when he first began writing and what he did to overcome his stress. And it's a great book, a great resource, and I believe it's still available in paperback, so pick that one up. Two resources for me as a pulp writer. These two books have really come in handy, and it's How to Write Pulp Fiction by James Scott Bell and Pulp Era Writing Tips. And there are more pulp books out there, but actually those are the two that I use the most, and they may be the only two I have in my collection, but there are other resources out there if you're going to write action adventure, pulp style writing. And there's others out there. There are books to help you write romance, to help you write mysteries and science fiction. They're out there, so make sure you hunt for the genre you're writing in. Pick up books that will help you get your craft going and make your writing stronger in the genre that you choose. A couple online resources that I really like. The first one is Paul Males. He does tips on cover design. He's got a YouTube show. I'll put the link below. He also does tips on book formatting, and it really comes in handy. Every once in a while, I'll struggle while formatting a book. I don't use a book type of program or a program that helps you format your book. I'm old school. I use Microsoft Word, so I format everything on Microsoft Word, and I've gotten pretty good at it. But every once in a while, I stumble, and I'll go to his website and I'll look through his catalog of episodes he's put up, and it helps me figure out a problem I may be having at the time when I'm formatting a book. I've formatted a lot of books over the years, and I've gotten pretty good at it, but just because you've gotten pretty good at something doesn't mean you don't stumble every once in a while, and this is a great resource. And finally, online, there's Dale Roberts. He does self-publishing with Dale. I believe he's out of Columbus, Ohio, and he does a series. He has a website. He does a YouTube series here. He does Facebook, Instagram. He's on all the socials. And he talks about self-publishing and gives you multiple resources, probably more than I'm going to give you in this small video, of things that you can use while building your publishing empire, or if you just want to be a better writer, just in general. He is definitely a good resource for people who are self-publishing books, and I watch his program quite often, and you should check it out. And again, I'll put the link down below. Guys, this video is a day late. Had a lot going on this past weekend. Usually I drop these shows on a Sunday. Well, this is Monday, and I'm actually recording it today on Monday, so I got to do a little editing, and I'll put it up on YouTube, and you'll see it right now. I try to make this a weekly thing, and I'm still going to continue to do that. But sometimes, you know, I was out on the lake most of the day or most of the weekend, and I didn't really get time to sit down and even write, for that matter. But speaking of writing and speaking of publishing, I do have a new book coming out in second week of August. It is an anthology. It is the Lost Adventures of Captain Hawkland, Volume 3. It has 5 stories in it, one by me, one by L.S. Guzdij, Clyde Hall, Brian K. Morris, and John C. Bruning. And these are adventures of Captain Hawkland after the Second World War. And I'll be making some short videos here in the next week or so that I'll post here on the YouTube and on Instagram if you follow me over there. So, guys, I'm going to cut this video short this week because I have a lot of stuff going on. And I need to start preparing for next week's video. I didn't do a very good job from getting ready for this episode. But I do have some things coming up in the next few weeks. I may even have a couple guest stars at the beginning of August, and I have a show at the end of the month. And when we get closer to that, I'll let you know more about it. Guys, thanks for checking out the video, and I'm going to leave you with your moment of inspiration.
The decisions that your character makes really tells the reader who they are. So when your character says, you know what, I'm setting aside my own personal safety to go into this real dangerous place to talk to this real dangerous person about something that he does not want to talk about because I want to help this little girl. That tells the reader this is who your character is. You hear over and over again, show, don't tell. And the way that you show people that is you show them in these sequels. You show them who your character is by, sticking them as hard into that character's skin suit as you possibly can. Because that's really what we're all here to do in the books. The more you can show their sense of character and self through their emotions and through their decisions, the more people are going to open up to that character, because that's how you be vulnerable with another human being. And we're doing it with simulated human beings on a page. As long as you can kind of understand that's how human emotions work. That's how we work as people. We go emotion, reason, review, decision. That's how we navigate life. So if you can show your character doing that, you create that much closer a bond between the reader and your character.